So with Apex Legends now moving into a new season and characters being nerfed, what led you to becoming a full-time Bangalore main? Like at a certain point, you were just that was the only person you picked.
Yeah.
So what led
Um,
you to that signed, sealed, delivered moment of just being a Bangalore main?
the Bangalorian, the name.
Yeah.
Um, the name is what caused that. Um, because by that point I had already reached my 1,000 kills, and I had met Shy, Alex, and uh, tragically we forgot to mention her a lot earlier, but Maddie was also involved here.
Yes.
Um, God bless in each and every one of you guys, both yourself, Maddie, and Shy and Alex. But when my journey began for 1,000 kills, I sort of stuck with Maddie because she had this sort of familiar sense of someone of my past, and there was this sort of rivalry, and we sort of had this connection, and that kind of felt familiar. Um, she very much reminded me of Tracy, my rival from my clan days, um, in terms of her ability with sniping and just all around sort of personality and what she provided in game to the team. Um, but the name itself, the name, the Bangalorian, comes from a little bit of a Discord chat that we had with between all four of us, myself, Maddie, Shy, and Alex. We met Shy and Alex during a duos match where we actually kind of teamed up together as four people to just fight the entire server, and it was a lot of fun. That's a story on all on its own, but the chat that we had in Discord, Shy had posted a picture of Bangalore with like a Star Wars background. I don't remember the image off the top of my head. I just remember it was Bangalore, and then she was like superimposed onto it like a Star Wars thing, and she was like, "Haha, the Bangalorian," and I was like, "Huh, that's funny. That's hilarious." And then by this point, I had my 1,000 kills. I was already showing them what I could do with Bangalore, and everyone sort of became familiar with it. And that name stuck in the ether, so to speak, the Bangalorian. Bam, bam. And Alex reached out to me like a day or so later after she dropped the name in the Discord server that we had going on, and he's like, "Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say hi. Hope you're doing all right. I know you had a rough day at work today, but I wanted to run something by you." And I was like, "Okay, cool. What's up?" And he's like, "I think you should consider that being the keyword. Consider changing your username to the Bangalorian. You know, the underscore Bangalorian or the Bangalorian one word or whatever you get. But I think you should consider it." And I was like, no, I don't think so, dude. I don't know. To me at the time, it sounded very egotistical. It sounded like I was bragging about how good I was with Bangalore, and I don't really do that. I don't like bragging or whatever. In moments of celebration, yeah, do you know who I am? Kind of slips
Yeah.
out, and you get into it, and you sort of, you get hyped up. You get yourself hyped up on your own ego or your own excitement for what just happened, and that's kind of when it slips. I'll admit, I'm only human, but realistically, I don't like doing it.
Mhm.
So when he said the Bangalorian, consider you changing your name, I was like, no way. And I'm like, why do you think that's a good idea? And he's like, well, it suits you. And I was like, what? And he's like, well, yeah, you put so much time and effort into her, it makes sense. The Bangalorian, right? It's cool. Anyway, I think you should do it, and I think it'd be cool if you did because I think Shy would really appreciate it if you did. And I was like, oh, okay. I'll think about it, I said, and that was the end of the conversation. And I remember like a day going by, and then I logged in, and then I sort of went back to the videos that I had in my capture gallery, and I kind of went through all the Bangalore ones, and I was like, oh, I did this, I did that, and I'm tagging with the people with the smoke, I'm blinding them from like 160 meters out, whatever, and then pushing that limitation even further, and I was like, ah. And then I kind of leaned back into my seat, and I'll never forget it. I remember leaning back into my seat and being like, I did put a lot of effort into her, and I just got 1,000 kills. I just bought her a new skin. I'm spoiling her. I've ascended. That's the word I like to use for that sort of thing. And I was like, ah, I ascended and, huh, a Bangalorian. And then I kind of had to change my opinion of the whole being egotistical thing and whatever. And then I had to kind of change it in order to see it in a different light. So I broke it down. What does the Bangalorian come from? What are the two things that put that name together and really make it sound amazing? First of all, the Mandalorian, a clan from the Star Wars franchise, the Star Wars series, that specializes in combat and weapons expertise. Right? They are born and bred for the specific reason of being good at combat. They're mercenaries, usually, but they're good at it. Like, they're freaking amazing. Like, if you want something done combat related, you call a Mandalorian. Right? And I was like, cool, that makes sense. You know, they put a lot of time. They get one gun or one weapon, and that's their weapon for life. They know the ins and outs of that weapon. They know what they're supposed to be doing with it. They know the pros and cons, but they keep it and they run it every single day of their life,
Yeah.
no matter the situation. And then I was like, what's Bangalore? Bam, what's Bangalore do? She's a soldier, she's a professional, she knows the ins and outs of every single weapon she has. She grew up with a P20, and she knows that she can rely on it no matter the situation, and she'll pick it up for the rest of her life. I was like, damn, interesting, I said to myself. And then I said, what does that mean for me? And then I had to kind of like switch it around again, and I was like, okay, the Bangalorian. What does that mean to me? And I said, okay, let's picture myself as a Mandalorian here in Apex Legends, playing Apex Legends, and picking a character that I'm gonna play for the rest of my time here, rest of my career with Apex. Who is that? Who did I pick? And I was Bangalore. I was like, all right. Do I know the ins and outs of that character? Yes. Do I know the cooldowns, the limitations, the charge time? And yes. Have I perfected that? Can I pick her every single time and know what I'm getting for the rest of my time here? Yes. I was like, oh shit. I'm the Bangalorian. I was like, oh my god. I I am the Bangalore. It's not so much bragging about what I could do. It was so much coming to accept the fact that I was good with Bangalore. You know, being able to ricochet smoke off a wall and just completely smoke screen an entire hallway. To be able to fucking throw my smoke 100 meters out at an angle to somebody that's in a tower.
Let's reposition here.
And blind them completely. And to maybe be on the tower smoking this guy and, you know, hitting the smoke off a wall and having the pods break up into 3 separate smoke grenades and hit him 3 times with each and every grenade and get damage, 10 damage, but it's still 10, it's still damage, but being able to track the armor he has.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, shit, that guy got purple, that guy got blue, that guy got white, that guy got tin, or gold, or whatever. Guys, we know what we have to do. We know what he's running. We have to pinpoint that guy and take him down because he has the best armor. Or, hey, this guy's running sniper, but he only has blue. Focus, focus, focus. Lay him out. And I was like, oh my god. I am the Bangalorian. I did pick this character and specialize. You know, my effort was worth it. My time, my tears, my raw and bloody thumbs, all of it. The amount of effort I took to learn all these things, the countless hours in fucking firing range. It meant something. It meant something to people that I regularly played with, to the point where they decided to name me for my efforts.
No.
And I said to myself, this isn't about me anymore. It might never have been. Maybe I put all of this effort into this one character, into this game, not to come crawling out of the pit that I was in before Apex to just be on my own and be my own island and be me. But maybe it was to come out of that hole a stronger person, but for the team. That I was calling out the armor, calling out the people, blinding the enemies, so I could give my team the advantage. And that's when I was like, oh shit, this is it. I am the Bangalorian. And that is what kept me here. Um, as Bangalore, as a full-time Bangalore for almost, uh, say 4 seasons, almost four. Let's say 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what kept me here. That's what motivated me to come back, no matter the nerfs, no matter what. I had to prove a point to not only to myself, but say that my team can rely on me each and every time that I dropped. To say that, hey, this is it. This is what you guys call me here for. This is what you're getting. This is for you guys. Each and every time, without question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's what kept me going.
you've come a long way. Even I just want to point out just a timestamp. I don't know when I posted that clip, but it was when you took a break. I think it was probably towards that tail end of season 2 or season 3 probably, and we weren't playing for a while. And I remember
Yeah.
I started playing with randos and squatting up with people, and it was drastically noticeable even then. And we're coming up on season 6, so that's 3 seasons past when this clip
hmm
happened. And people were talking about Bangalore and stuff. And your time put in with this character was already noticeable back then. That
hmm
I genuinely felt spoiled because every other
Yeah,
Bangalore I played with was
I
absolute
remember that.
crap. And that was
I
just,
remember that.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember you saying
that was
that.
back in season 3, and it's just like we're almost in season 6, almost 3 seasons later, and
Yeah, yeah.
you're just expounding, and you're still learning, and you're
Oh man,
still just
it never ends.
you're adding metals to that set of bulletproof armor you've got with just continually every season. You just keep adding. You rank up, so to speak. You keep ranking up. You keep learning, and you keep running your drills, and
Yeah,
you're maintaining that title.
yeah, yeah.
And I mean, I would have gave it to you back in season 3, but I mean, you've definitely earned that title, and that's
I appreciate
from
that. Thank you.
yeah, and that's from your team. That's not from some Star Wars nut or someone getting paid to tell you that. That is people who have
Hmm.
genuinely experienced the
It
skill and the time.
absolutely.
And we weren't
Yeah.
there. We weren't in the firing range with you for hours, but everything that you did and the time that you put in showed in game.
Yeah. Oh
And
man, I appreciate you saying all of that. Honestly, honest to God. I mean, when you there was this time when you were playing with Cat and Game Boy, and you just said like, ah, I played with this one Bangalore, and I generally felt blessed, and I was like, that, oh, blessed, spoiled. Those aren't just words that just get thrown around, and specifically the word blessed. I came from a bit of a religious background, so the word blessed has a whole different meaning to me than it might do to other people. But
mm,
when someone says blessed, to me, from what I've learned in that kind of history in my lifetime, it doesn't just mean like, ah, hey, this is great and this is amazing. No, it's a life-changing experience to be blessed, to be considered blessed. So when you said you were blessed, I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. I didn't think my time really meant much to anybody. Even after the fact that I got that name and I kept it, I still didn't have that confidence in that name. Sometimes I've doubted myself even, and I even put more time in, and I tried to get better. Even the fact that I had increased my ability, I still wanted to learn, and I wanted to increase that ability, like you said. But when I saw that clip of you just casually mentioning a specific Bangalore that you felt spoiled to be around and blessed, and I was like, "Is he talking about me?" And I reached out to you, and I was like, "Listen, I know we haven't talked in forever because of shit that's gone down, but if you're talking about me here, I want you to know that this is a big deal for me. And if it's not, then I totally understand. And then you messaged me a couple hours later, and you're like, "No, that was definitely about you." And I was
I
like,
was
"Oh
like,
my
hell yeah, I
God."
was talking about you.
I was, I was like, "Oh man, that is like probably the biggest compliment I have ever received ever." Aside from the name itself, I think that has been the best, most fulfilling, and most rewarding compliment that I had ever received. Because yes, being named the Bangalorian is special because the team collectively agreed and said, "Hey, that's you. This
Yeah.
is who you are. That's who you are." And I was like, "Yeah," but then to receive such a compliment like that, because that with those specific words, it meant so much more. It added on to the name, in my opinion. And I was like, man, like this is the way this guy feels, and he hasn't found anyone that can kind of I don't want to brag or anything, but like compare to what he had experienced.
I hadn't played with anyone
Yeah,
since that time,
yeah,
and it was just like I hadn't played with another Bangalore who could do what you did.
yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say. And I was like, if he's talking about me, then this is a whole new ball game, and I appreciate it even more so. But if he's not, then hey, whatever. But it turned out being the case, and I was like, oh my God, what a huge deal, you know.
Yeah,
And it was a big motivator to just keep going, to just keep pushing with what I could do with her and expand my horizons.
yeah.
Yeah.